What's up, everybody? Just celebrated 2 years of having run my own agency in B2B marketing / ABM / demand generation / go-to-market. We'll get back to that. And I just wanted to share the 5 most important learnings because, I did a little bit of retrospective and I listed out 5 things that I've learned. Before going into it, I'll just give you a little bit of my background. So prior to having launched my agency, I had a combined 6 years of doing marketing for various SaaS companies, startups, and scale-ups, mostly scale-up companies. And I'm also bringing about 10 plus years of entrepreneurial experience into the game over here. And I had my own adventure travel company until COVID broke out. And that gave me a ton of experience in founding and running and scaling and growing companies, as well as a crap ton of B2C marketing experience, which came in very handy. So this is the experience I brought to the table 2 years ago when I decided to launch Clear. And number one, what stands out the most is just the sheer amount of stuff and experience that I have put on, that I have learned. Okay, so number one, it is learning. And the first tip or the first learning is going to turn into a career advice, because what this tells me is that if you want to learn fast in either sales or marketing, in B2B or B2C, it doesn't matter. The fastest way to do that is probably via working with an agency. Okay, agency or consultancy. Working on the client side does have advantages, but if you're looking at the pace of learning and gaining experience, working with a consultancy or an agency is the way to go. Number 2, the second most important learning is I came into this game 2 years ago having identified as a marketer, and I'm doing that less and less. So I identify less and less as a marketer and a lot more as a revenue or a GTM, go-to-market person. And that is because the lines, the boundaries between the functions of sales and marketing are blurring. And in B2B, if you want any degree of success, or if you're playing the holistic game to any extent, and you're not just taking care of one function such as PPC or writing content, even in writing content, this doesn't hold true, you're going to be confronted with the opportunity to cooperate with sales and customer success and perhaps other functions of the company as well. So disidentifying as a marketer has major benefits, and that is something that I can highly recommend. Number 3, in terms of success and what determines success, I now believe that over 50% of success does not depend on your strategy or your execution. It depends on the people and how you manage the team. And I've seen this over and over with clients. And running an agency like this is a great ground for experimentation, because what we're seeing is that when we are working with a team that is capable, that wants to get it done, that is hungry, that wants to see change, that is not afraid to go out there and take some minor risks and to push their boundaries of their comfort zone, then stuff is going to happen. And when management is committed and execution happens, and it's not like, management is nodding, yeah, sure, go ahead and do what you want and we'll support you. And then this support doesn't really penetrate to the lower levels of the organization. So if everybody's all in and management is really committed, not just with words, but with actions as well, then stuff is going to happen. So I'm speculating that you can have a mediocre product with an okay playbook, an okay strategy, and still do great and still beat any company if you have the right people in place and if people are hungry enough and if they're committed enough and if they're willing to get shit done. So the willingness to get shit done and execute is, I think, the number one determinant of success in B2B go-to-market right now. Learning number 4, ABM is B2B, which is GTM, which is revenue. Okay, let me unpack that for you. So about 10 years ago, a gentleman named Sangram Varya wrote a book titled ABM is B2B, and he predicted that it's only a matter of time before all B2B marketing will be account-based and account-targeted. And I got to say, he's right. So even if you're playing the product-led game, you're seeing more and more focus on specific accounts. And The degree of focus on accounts only depends on the size of the deal. So if you're in a low average contract value game, you're obviously going to need more volume and you're going to focus less on accounts, on the specifics of accounts and personalization. And the higher you go up the ACV ladder, the more you're going to focus on personalization. And going into this agency 2 years ago, I was all sold on account-based marketing, and I thought it was going to be account-based marketing all the way. But I came to see that account-based marketing is only a fraction of the entire go-to-market picture. And if we want to make a difference in the lives of startup and scale-up technology companies, then we cannot just settle for doing marketing with minimal interaction with sales. We got to go for the whole GTM picture. And that's what I advise everybody to do who is in marketing or in sales or in revenue or even in customer success right now, is to focus holistically on the entire picture. And by the way, there's a lot of overlap between number 2 and number 4 over here. So if this sounds familiar from 2 points ago, then you're right. Because the idea is that you want to look at the entire go-to-market game as a holistic thing where marketing, sales, and customer service or customer success are highly intertwined. And if you do that, and if you set up programs that are designed that way, and if you constantly involve all the functions, then success is going to happen. Number 5, mass cold outreach as a lead gen tactic gets a bad reputation, and it is for a reason. And even that bad reputation is too generous because it is working less and less and doing more and more damage if you're using mass cold outreach. Okay? 2 years ago, I was kind of split on cold outreach. I was like, it can work sometimes or many times, and it's only a matter of doing it right or wrong. But I'm seeing it do more and more damage. And where it used to work, it's working less and less. So with software development companies, they're totally sales-led, and they're used to having a business development team just go out and nail and hammer the crap out of thousands of accounts, only to get a few conversations and a couple of deals in the end. Okay, and the numbers are worsening in terms of the success percentage is getting lower and lower by the quarter, I would say. And the damage that's being done likely is increasing because the damage that you're doing to the reputation of your brand, if you're trying to position yourself as an expert, as an authority, should not be understated. And the bridges that you're burning forever, that has to be factored in as well. Okay, so I used to be okay-ish with cold outreach as a mass lead generation game, and now I am totally against it after 2 years, and I don't think it's ever coming back. Now, there is a place for cold outreach, but that is in highly targeted and well-researched scenarios, so certainly not a mass thing and a numbers game, which is how most companies use it. But when it's part of an account-based marketing sequence and it is well-researched and well-backed up, then cold outreach can have great results without doing all the damage. Okay? But just keep that in mind. So those were my top 5 learnings. I hope you can take away at least a couple of them. So again, just to repeat, number 1, if you want to learn fast, go work for an agency or a consultancy. Number 2, ditch your identity as a marketer and identify more as a go-to-market or a revenue person. Number 3, team and management skills is the number 1 determinant of success in go-to-market. Number 4, ABM is B2B, which is go-to-market, which is revenue. Okay, all these things should be put under one roof and managed centrally. Number 5, mass cold outreach as a lead gen tactic gets a bad rep for a very good reason. So don't do it. That's it. See you later.